Ooh, what's up, Internet? Welcome to the Beedrill run. That being my attempt to beat all of Pokemon Fire Red with a single Beedrill. This was from February of this year, but I wanted to edit it and put it up as the first Pokemon challenge on this channel because this is the challenge that gave me the confidence to undertake the Nerdy Lock, the hardcore Nuzlocke of all 35 Pokemon games in release order that you can probably still catch me playing live over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. You might ask, why Beedrill? Well, I've always loved the design. I really love Beedrill, but the honest answer is it's just a random thing I said on stream one time, and as a married man, I'm a firm believer in the power of committing to things. After a little research, I figured Beedrill was the right choice for such an endeavor. Not strong enough to make it too easy, but not so weak that it's no fun. Beedrill has a decent attack stat, good special defense for his fire and psychic weaknesses as Fire Red comes before the physical special split, and is fast enough that as it overlevels, we should be able to maintain a speed advantage over most enemies. As far as movesets go, it doesn't learn much, and arguably the best move it can learn in terms of stab, Sludge Bomb, is in a TM on the Sevi Islands that you can't reach until you beat the Elite Four. I figured despite that, there was enough to work with here though, and so we set off on our adventure. We informed Oak, a man who has known us our entire lives, that our name was still nerdy, and that his grandson was my one true enemy, Chat. I had never heard of the incredible tool that is the Universal Pokemon Randomizer when I did this, and so the plan for the run was to pick a starter and then immediately run to catch a Weedle. The goal was to only catch a Weedle and get all of our HMs from gift Pokemon, and so we chose Cut as our starter, and quickly lost our first battle to Chat. Clearly, we needed our Beedrill. I did realize in this moment that choosing Cut meant our rival got a Charmander, and so our biggest problems moving forward were to be of our own making. After the parcel side quest, we rushed north, watched an old man tease us by catching his own Weedle, and then sprinted into Viridian Forest to catch one of our own. First encounter, a level 4 female Weedle. I want to mention now that I had decided to catch Weedles until I found one with an adamant nature, a plus to its attack stat and a minus to special attack, for obvious reasons. 3 shakes of a Pokeball later, it was time for a name, and if I learned one thing from the Pokemon anime growing up, the only Mon you really need is a Pikachu. I didn't realize how many people were going to be confused why my Beedrill's name was Pikachu, as if you haven't been able to name Pokemon whatever you want since the very first game in this franchise. But we dove into the summary, and by some weird luck, Pikachu was an adamant lady. We got it on the first go. Time to drop Cut in the box and wreck everything. Or, well, so I thought. The truth is, grinding a Weedle up against Rattatas and Pidgeys is a very slow process. Once we had our Kakuna, I figured a quick rival fight was the perfect next step, but... Oh, of course it has a Pidgey. Level 9 Pidgey? Oh no! Despite managing to harden 6 times against the Pidgey and kill it with poison, and then getting the Charmander down to death to poison range, a scratch crit took Pikachu out before the poison could finish him off. I figured a second go at level 7 might work, and because healing items in battle are so broken, we managed to get the win. This run inspired me to never use healing items in battle again, because they really do make a lot of the game way too easy, or make your strategy just stalling things out with full restores. If Charmander had Ember, I don't think all the potions in the world would have saved me here, but that's a problem for the next fight. With Chat defeated, it was time to head north and prepare to face Brock. The first trainer in Viridian Forest was kind enough to give us the experience we needed to hit level 10, and thus our Beedrill was finally ready to fly. The important thing to know about these bugs that get a second evolution so early is that for most of the early to early mid game, they're actually quite strong, and so I figured why not try and challenge the gym as soon as we got there. This meant starting our Brock fight at level 13, 1 below his Onix. We set up 6 Hardens on the Geodude, poisoned it, and then just prayed for no crits. As it returned to its ball defeated, there was only one question. Was 6 Hardens enough to take a super effective Rock Tomb? Okay. Oh, we're Gucci as heck. It was, and thanks to a pile of rocks being able to be poisoned, we only needed to not get crit by Rock Tomb. Except he never used it again. Brock spammed Bide, threw for content, and we had our first badge at just level 14. With Beedrill starting to quickly overlevel the average trainer, we breezed through Mount Moon and hit level 20 on the final trainer, giving us Twin Needle. Arguably one of the most important moves in the run, because Pin Missile is an unreliable mistress, and we won't be hurt again. I figured level 20 was too low to take out Misty, so I headed to Nugget Bridge, completely forgetting about the rival fight. Like most single Pokemon runs, the sand attacks from the Pidgeotto caused too many problems, and there just didn't seem to be a way past the Charmander yet now that it knew Ember. So I headed into Misty's gym thinking maybe I could take her down first. Before we could even reach the leader, we got wiped by a single Goldeen because of some really bad supersonic luck. 2 close losses back to back told me that a short level grind on Route 8 before we tried the gym again was necessary, and we came back at level 23. Goldeen was still a fight, but we got through and challenged the youngest of the Cerulean sisters. On our first try, we set up on the Staryu, but died to a Water Pulse crit on the Starmie because I'm an idiot and forgot that Starmie is half Psychic type. On our second try, we easily Twin Needled it and pinned on our second badge. Time to try that rival fight again. We set up our Hardens on the Pidgeotto and Poison Stalled it to death. Charmander came out and we Fury attacked, hoping for the best. If I hit 5, this might work. It might work! I might just get past Charmander in 1. Yes! Oh, that was perfection. Twin Needle one-shot the rest of chat's Pokemon, and we were onto the bridge at a much lower level than I expected. The next chunk of the game is where only having one Pokemon puts the game a little bit on easy mode. By the time we got to the SSN rival fight, Pikachu was level 35. Switching between Fury Attack and Twin Needle, Pikachu breezed through, even after the attack drop from a burn. In the third gym, Surge's Voltorb went down to 1 Twin Needle, then Pikachu did, then Raichu did. Sorry, I should respect him and say, Lieutenant Surge, thank you for our third badge. Headed to Celadon to pick up Surf, where we taught Aerial Ace so we could one-shot Erica's Victory Bell, Tangela, and Vileplume for the 4th badge. We taught our final attacking move, Brick Break, and managed to one-shot Giovanni's Onix, his Rhyhorn, and even his bulky Kangaskhan after taking a quick fake out. At almost level 50, it was time to fight Chat in Pokemon Tower. One-shot his Pidgeotto with Aerial Ace, Twin Needle took out Execute and Kadabra, Brick Break flattened the Charmeleon, a strategy that won't work when it's a Charizard, and then he sent out Gyarados. Even at more than double its level, it still tanked an Aerial Ace, but Pikachu still took it down without too much risk. I figured Koga was the right next step due to Pikachu's resistance to poison and immunity to actually being poisoned. The first Coughing tanked an Aerial Ace, allowing him to get off a smokescreen. Koga's Muck was not going to go down so easily though. Aerial Ace can't miss, so despite the smokescreen and minimizes, we were able to keep hitting, but an Acid Armor and 2 Hyper Potions made this feel like purgatory, until an Aerial Ace crit brought it into kill range and we finally got the KO. The second Coughing landed a weak Sludge before dying, and out came Daddy Wheezing. Neither of us could do too much damage to the other. Ooh, okay, we're gonna heal up Pikachu. It is not worth it. From there, a couple Twin Needles was enough to end the fight and give us our 5th badge. It was finally time to face Chat's fully evolved Charizard in Silphco. But first I had to get through Pidgeot. Fully evolved, it was no longer a one-shot, but its wing attack dealt less than a third back. Pikachu took it down and then quickly one-shot Execute and Kadabra with Twin Needle. It was Charizard time and he wiped us out easily. Second try, we started off the same way, except we got a few Hardens off before Charizard came out. Our only hope was to poison with Twin Needle. It does not poison. Great. It poisoned! Oh! Oh, yes! Flamethrower wasn't a one-shot, so a couple dodge crits later and a quick back and forth with Gyarados, and we'd done it. No grinding required. Giovanni was all one-shots, so I headed into the Sabrina fight confident that Twin Needle would win the day. I switched to Aerial Ace for the Venomoth, but it was a clean sweep. I stopped by the gym next door to get strength, and headed towards Cinnabar Island. I was thinking of going without Fly for this run, but I had a Master Ball, and this beauty was just sitting there. It's not a gift Pokemon, but it is a static, and I also just think naming Articuno Fly and only using it to fly is kind of hilarious. At level 63, I thought perhaps Blaine would be possible, but 2 attempts made it clear Arcanine was too fast and strong for Pikachu. I bullied every trainer on the high seas and came back at level 67. We also made our final move change of the run, switching out Harden for Double Team. 6 double teams later, and it suddenly all seemed very possible. Growlithe was a one-shot, Ponyta and Rapidash took 2, and then Arcanine was back out. It managed to hit twice, but a couple of potions and a couple of misses, and Pikachu managed to secure her 7th badge. Giovanni was not nearly as hard. Both Rhyhorns dropped to a single Brick Break, Dugtrio took 1 Twin Needle, Nidoqueen took 2 Aerial Aces, and a lucky crit wiped Nidoking, and the fight was done. 8 badges in hand, the real game was about to begin. Before we can take on the Elite Four though, chat stood in our way once more. The fight played out a lot like the Silph fight. Pidgeot took 2 Aerial Aces, and Kadabra took 1 Twin Needle. We set up our double teams on Rhyhorn before KOing it with Brick Break. We managed to poison Charizard on our 2nd Twin Needle, and a couple of Hyper Potions helped us stall it out from there. Double Team duped his Gyarados, and Execute fell to a quick Twin Needle. Our path was clear, and it was time to see if I could actually do this. I thought level 78 sounded high enough for the Elite Four, so we just dove straight in. Our strategy for each fight was the same. Set up double team, heal when we need to, rinse and repeat. Pikachu was just bulky enough to not get one-shot by anything, even Lance's fiercest dragons. I thought the full restores would carry me to victory. Chat somehow managed to get here first, and our victory train stalled out hard on his very first Pokemon. His Pidgeot now has Aerial Ace, and thus the tables had been turned. Our double team strategy had finally been thwarted, and we got caught in a potion loop until an inevitable crit wiped Pikachu. I was determined to finish this run, and I figured I would try at 5-level intervals, so I grinded up to level 83 and cruised through the early Elite Four again. I figured I would make it all the way to chat again, things were moving along fine, until Agatha managed to land a curse. Ooh, interesting. I thought I had enough full restores that it wouldn't matter, and it didn't really. Pikachu managed to take her last Pokemon to just a sliver of health. Knowing I was faster, I ended the fight. No! Except nope. I forgot about her full restores and Pikachu died to a curse. I figured this was a fluke and decided to try again at level 83. We didn't double team on Lorelei, Twin Needle took down Slowbro, Brick Break handled everything else. Bruno quickly fell to Brick Break on the Onixes and Aerial Ace for Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and 2 of them for Machamp. Agatha's first Gengar went tit for tat with double teams, allowing us to get mostly set up unscathed. And knowing my Aerial Ace would always hit, I had no fear here. From there we 2-shot all of her Pokemon with Aerial Ace, even the Arbok after the Intimidate attack drop thanks to a timely crit. Lance's Gyarados mostly spammed Dragon Rage, allowing Pikachu to set up double teams without worrying about crit ranges. Back and forth we went with the full restores until Lance got fed up and withdrew Gyarados in favor of Aerodactyl. It wasn't able to connect any of its hits until it was in the red, and a wing attack took almost half of Pikachu's HP before Brick Break took it out. Lance followed with his ace, Dragonite. I started to chip away at it, sure that my evasion was high enough that I didn't need to heal, and... Oops. We healed and went back to chipping away, but at this point I realized I don't think this run is possible without healing items. At least not without being level 100 for the Elite Four. If there's a moveset you think would have been better for a Beedrill here, comment down below. I would love to hear how you would have done this. Dragonite eventually fell, and Gyarados came back out, meaning Pikachu was now double intimidated, but Gyarados fell quickly, and despite the double intimidation, the Dragonairs went down pretty easily, and I was back in the room with chat. I wasn't sure if the Pidgeot or the Charizard scared me more here, but we got right into it. First turn, both of us Aerial Aced. Second turn, both of us Aerial Aced. Third turn, we both healed. Repeat. Except on turn 6, I healed, he Aerial Aced, and on the next hit, Pidgeot was down. I risked double teaming on the Alakazam, and Psychic took Pikachu to 13 HP. It was a little close. I healed, and Zam set up a Future Sight and Reflect while I continued to double team. Next turn, Psychic hit despite my double teams, but it didn't crit, and I figured I was safe until I remembered. Do I die to this? It failed! But it missed. So did his next Psychic, and then the one after that, and even another Future Sight. With the Reflect finally worn off and our evasion at +5, I should have Twin Needled, but the lure of +6 was too strong. This allowed Zam to put Reflect back up and meant our Twin Needle on the next turn wasn't a one-shot. We got the poison, so he wasn't going to be able to make it out of the turn, but his Psychic managed to hit, and if that had been a crit, I probably would have cried. After healing up, Brick Break shattered the Reflect, and Rhydon fell quickly. I'm really grateful that he went to Rhydon before Charizard so Pikachu could be at full health when Charizard came out, and I could have the Reflect down with the Brick Break. Did I mention I didn't know Charizard had Aerial Ace for this fight? He switched to Fire Blast while I desperately tried to get a Twin Needle Poison. He mostly missed except for this one shot that definitely would have killed if it were a crit, and then he was out of Fire Blasts. At full health, we could take an Aerial Ace crit, but only at full health. And so for the next few minutes, we stalled out Aerial Ace with full restores. And again, I wonder if this really would be possible without healing items. Thank Arceus, I spent every Pokédollar I had on full restores. I fell so far into this routine, I didn't even notice when he switched to Slash. We took him to the red and he full restored, but it was only a matter of time now. 3 Aerial Aces, and he full restored one final time, before 3 more Aerial Aces took Charizard down. Executor fell to a single Twin Needle, and Pikachu brute forced down the Gyarados for the win. Oh my gosh, this is it. That's it. That's the run. That's the run. We did it. We beat him. I was finally the champion, and all I needed was a single Pikachu. I mean, Beedrill. I set out on this run when I wasn't much of a Pokemon streamer, and when I knew much less about Pokemon than I do now. It wasn't the most hardcore challenge, but it was incredibly fun, and it put the itch in me to find something harder to beat, so I could keep chasing that sweet, sweet dopamine. If you want to see the runs this inspired, subscribe to the channel. The next run on here will be my first ever hardcore Nuzlocke in Pokemon Red. Or come see what I'm up to over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly to catch these runs live. If there's a Pokemon challenge you think I should try, leave it in the comments down below, and maybe leave your thoughts on how you could have done the Pikachu run better. I want to give a massive shout out to all the wonderful people supporting us over at patreon.com/nerdynightly and fanhouse.app/nerdynightly. I hope y'all enjoyed getting this video early, and I hope you know that none of this is possible without you. As always, y'all, do something nerdy tonight.